Hello, it's Tara from Sojourn Psychology, and I'm just enjoying some of this beautiful fall sun. Can you believe we've made it to October? So, if you're like me, September felt like a really long, short, strange month. Lots of shifts and changes and challenges as we realign ourselves to schedule. I saw a post on Facebook that one of my friends shared in a group, and it was a post by Dr. Aisha Ahmad, who is an instructor, a professor at university in Toronto, as well as an award-winning author, actually. And she's somebody who has come alongside of people going through disaster multiple times and sharing her expertise on the experience. She really notices this thing called the 6-month wall. And of course, that sounds very curious for all of us right now as we're going through this global disaster crisis situation. I wanted to review some of the amazing pieces of information that she has pulled together to inspire us. So, the thing about the 6-month wall that Aisha notices is that during this time, it's just like this slump. So we've been working really hard. We've been going through, enduring this crisis for 6 months. We've been trying to recreate or build some sort of routine and some sort of normal or way of surviving and just living. And now 6 months has hit, and it's hard. We're tired. It's fall. To quote an amazing author, winter is coming. And so, yeah, here we are sort of contemplating what's going on. This sense of hitting the slump and running out of steam, because it's just hard. It's been a really hard year. And a natural tendency when we're facing hardship is to desire escape. So this is again why in September it was really important that we were talking about suicide, and we were talking about that real desire to do self-destruction. But desiring escape is not always self-destructive. Like some of us are just, dreaming about a beach, or we're dreaming about mountains, culture, being submerged in a dialect that we don't fully understand, just wanting to be away from here. But this crisis is global. So it's a different sort of thwarted longing. When we consider where could I go, I want to go to Disneyland. How am I, as a Canadian, going to get to Disneyland right now? It's hard to imagine that escape. So that creates an extra stressor on our brain. There's really no light at the end of the tunnel right now, even though we have glimmers of hope or we have promising results. It seems that once we see something that could potentially mean good news, something else occurs that furthers the confusion and the chaos of what we're enduring right now. So the no end in sight, and now here we sit. Winter is coming, the leaves are falling off the trees, the wind is getting a little brisker some days. Still get some of those gorgeous fall sunshine days, but we know what's coming. And in this little space, this in between, might not actually be that little, but this in between all we've endured and seeing that there's potential for difficulty ahead, shorter days, colder weather, more difficulties to get out and connect, all these things about winter that can be really depressing and taxing on us emotionally and psychologically. But we're adapting. And we are needing to be mindful of how over the past 6 months we have been in a relearning phase. We have been learning and shifting our perspective. We've been finding ways to cope. We've been finding ways to be efficient with our personal wellness as we head into the beginning of fall, as we are beginning fall, and as we're heading into winter. We are reminiscent of our learning. What have we learned over the past 6 months? And what is this relearning now? From a wellness perspective, and we have a great vlog or a few on wellness, so socially, emotionally, intellectually, physically, occupationally, and spiritually. A steady reevaluation, because as we've gained any sense of structure or schedule routine in the pandemic, in this crisis, it seems that things have changed. Every 2 to 3 months, we've sort of had to relearn, and that is kind of part of it right now. You get a little bit normal or a sense of I can do this, and then we're faced with something else that's going to cause us to relearn again. So take heart. We're all relearning. Yeah. But what Aisha also notices, because she's come along so many global crises, is that the 6 month marker, or that slump that we are facing, this wall, it's not necessarily something we can beat our way through. I've never personally tried to beat through concrete, but I can't imagine that I would be able to do it on my own effort. This wall is something that, as we ride it out, it will shift and change, and we will move into a new space. That's what we know about emotions. That's what we know about psychological discomfort, is that the typical experiences, we ride the waves and they lap into the next wave. Emotions are like waves on the ocean or clouds in the sky. We hang out with them and they pass by as they can. And then if we have stuck emotion or stuck psychological condition, that's where we reach out and ask for help from somebody like myself, who can help us find methods to cope or break through. But when we're facing this wall and those normal common emotions and difficulties that each one of us are enduring in our own unique way, the hope is that as we endure, we will find our way past. And there will be joy and happiness, there will be success, there'll be those I can do it moments as we ride this uncomfortable emotion through. So we might not be sparkly. We might not be A+ in it and just rocking our life out in the way that we want to. As I've said before, it's okay to shoot for a solid B-. We don't need A+ in all this experience. We might not reach all of our goals, we might not reach all of our deadlines, but we can do what we can, as we can, when we can. So have grace for ourselves and patience for ourselves is really, really important. And we will regain our stride. And hopefully some of you are seeing ways that you are regaining your stride. It's okay to be imperfect. There's no such thing as a perfect person. I'll raise my hand to that. I'm not a perfect person, and I expect nobody else is either. Yeah. So ways to cope, according to Dr. Aisha Ahmad, is to create short mental escapes. So finding little things that are enjoyable, whether that is a feel-good playlist, going for a drive with a nice hot cup of coffee, Netflix, little cute videos, watching something sweet, a cartoon with your child, mini dance parties. YouTube is full of excellent old 90s videos with hot beats that you can just rock your heart out to, if that appeals to you. And the real key is, if there's one huge takeaway from this, is that emotions are not permanent. That is scientific. That is researched. That is proven by neurological views of the brain and all sorts of lovely things that help us to know that this emotion, this difficulty is not permanent. You will move past this. We all will. So breathe, pause, pray, meditate, eat good food, listen to good music, find something that makes you laugh when you can, as you can, and look for those small wins. Some of us aren't having big wins at all right now, but small daily wins add up, and they're important, maybe even vital right now. All right, you guys, we're all in this together. Good luck with your wall that you're facing. Take care.